So many things are going wrong with the conversation about what happens when AI takes everybody's jobs. This is the most important one of those. People keep saying when AI takes all of our jobs, everybody will be sitting at home. They won't have any purpose. They won't have any meaning in their lives. Humanity will become this giant blob sitting on the couch, streaming Netflix, playing video games, watching porn. And what will even be the point of humanity existing at that point? First of all, that future is impossible because there is no way that capitalism works to pay people to sit at home and watch video games. It mathematically cannot work, but also politically it will never work because the capitalists, why would they pay us to sit home and watch video games? Have you ever had a time in your life when you imagined a possibility that seemed really reasonable based on your experience, but then when you got to the point when the thing you imagined would happen, you suddenly realized it was a completely impossible outcome? Like if you've had a child, you probably had all kinds of visions about the way you were going to peacefully and intelligently raise a child in a very disciplined, controlled way. And it made a lot of sense to you in your head. But then when your child was actually born, all that went out the window because the reality of how a child actually works came calling. So this is a little bit like that. When all of our jobs start being eliminated, we are going to see that the owners of the means of production have absolutely no incentive and no intention of paying us to sit home and not work. And people are thinking that the government is going to be able to tax the owners of the means of production and give the money to us so that we can sit at home and consume while playing video games. But if you just do the math on that and think it through a little bit, what you see is that the only way that can work sustainably is if the government taxes the owners of the means of production, the capitalists, the owners of our economy, 100%. But if they're being taxed at a rate of 100%, then they have no incentive to be capitalists anymore. The system cannot work that way. And all that will become very clear as soon as our jobs start being eliminated on a mass scale. If we don't take control of the system in that moment, take control of our economy and start running it for us instead of for the people who currently own it, if we don't take radical action to create a whole new kind of economic system that works in a time when the kind of work that we're doing today is no longer necessary, if we don't do that, the result will not be us sitting at home doing nothing. The result will be everybody starving, everybody evicted from their homes, total economic collapse. But if you've been watching the videos I've been making, you'll know that I'm confident that in that moment, we will step up, we will take control, we will create a new economic system. And that system will not be us sitting at home not doing anything because AI and the robots are doing all of the work. And that's because there's so much work that we have to do that's on our to-do list right now globally and in every single country on earth that we have been putting off, that we are not doing because everybody is too busy doing bullshit jobs that capitalism has them doing right now. This global to-do list is so ginormous that it's going to have tons and tons of work for everybody. Like we would be able to work 80 hours a week for 50 years and not get all of this work done. Let's not do that. Let's use AI. Let's use robots to make our work more efficient. Let's work nice, relaxed, comfortable work weeks and work days and work lives, work lifetimes. And let's get this to-do list done in the time that we have to get it done. Okay, what is on this to-do list? We've been making a total mess of this planet for 300 or 400 years. We've got a massive cleanup job to do. That's one thing. Billions of people are living in extreme poverty all over the world because where they live, they do not have the basics of a means of making a living. That all needs to be built. We are literally changing the composition of the atmosphere every day that we produce energy and move our vehicles around this planet. That needs to change. We need to build an entirely new energy infrastructure, which means tearing down and dismantling the current one and building a new one in its place. The two biggest sources of greenhouse gases that are changing the composition of our atmosphere and heating up our planet are buildings and vehicles. Our buildings need to be upgraded. That's a huge job, which is going to require tons and tons of workers in every single community. And we need billions of new vehicles. We need to dismantle, recycle, and build an entirely new set of many billions of vehicles all around the planet. We have crumbling infrastructure everywhere. Even in the United States, the richest country in the world, our infrastructure is trillions and trillions of dollars out of date. What do I mean by infrastructure? I mean the dams that keep our cities from flooding when there's a storm, the bridges that are about to collapse, roads that are just crumbling with potholes, potholes, and so much more. Everybody's been trying to forget about climate change lately, but the sea level continues to rise and whole cities are going to have to be moved. Hundreds of millions of people are going to need to be relocated because where they live right now is going to be underwater in the coming decades. Our entire global manufacturing process is destroying our planet, even aside from the concerns of greenhouse gases. The waste, the pollution, the toxic everything going everywhere, including not just our land, but our oceans and our water and our air. It's horrendous. So if we want to continue having stuff and building materials and clothing and everything else that needs to be manufactured, we need to also tear down, dismantle our current means of manufacturing and build a new one. And it needs to be based on reuse and recycling, because that's the only way this can keep going for years and years and centuries and millennia. Okay, that's a lot, isn't it? You see how we don't need to worry about everybody sitting at home? No, robots are not going to go do all that work. Like, hypothetically, we could say we are going to sit here and not do all of these urgent tasks, and instead we're going to spend like 20 years building out this giant robot army, which is going to be incredibly wasteful and ecologically disastrous to do, and then have the robots do all of that urgent work. It's theoretically possible, but why would we want to do that? What are we going to do with ourselves if not do the work of getting half of humanity out of poverty, fixing our atmosphere, fixing our oceans, giving ourselves a sustainable means of making a living? We humans do need a purpose. We do need a mission. And it just so happens that we have a huge one staring us in the face. And it's like going crazy wondering why we are not doing it, because millions of people are dying literally every day because we are not doing this work, because we have not built this means of making a living that we should be building right now. Instead, we're delivering each other's groceries. We're driving each other around. We're doing 10 million different kinds of bullshit jobs in offices, accomplishing things that nobody needs or wants to be accomplished, except the guy who owns the company who's making a bunch of money off of it. If you want some details, if you want a taste of what this mission might actually look like, then I would encourage you to go to newconsensus.com and check out the Mission for America. Now, the Mission for America is just the United States' chunk of this global mission. Researchers and activists and thinkers in every country, in every community, are going to have to come up with their own. This is just our contribution to that larger project. We are talking to people in a number of countries, collaborating with them to make plans for missions in their countries. And in the end, when this actually happens, we're all going to be coming together to do this thing as one species all over this world. That's how it has to work. And that's how I believe it actually will work in the end. So as they say, like and subscribe if you want to hear more about this in future videos.